Meet your house champions, age 4 or thereabouts, just starting out our life in education. It's the late 80s and early 90s.
Fast forward 7 years and here we are roughly aged 11, starting life at secondary school.
What a bonny bunch. Please remember these looks were fashionable at the time.
The little bubble that was primary school seems just a distant memory as we spend our days getting bumped about by year 11s, told off for sitting on the wrong seat on the bus, a lesson you soon learn because should you sit in the year 11 seat, you soon sharp get moved or have your hair clipped.
Or a luminous yellow scrunchie.
Bag, coat or any item really, pinched and launched around the bus.
And you don't spend all your time learning, as half the time you're trying not to get lost around the school or be late.
Sometimes, let's be honest, school isn't fun. In fact, it can be pretty rubbish. Let's list all the negatives, shall we?
Getting up early.
Being teased by the older ones.
Having relationships, getting dumped,
Being talked about.
getting left out,
Getting told off for something you didn't do.
getting told off for something you did do.
Detention.
The list goes on.
Sometimes you just feel like staying up. I mean, who would want to come in for that?
If you ask any one of us, we will all tell you that there were times when we felt like that, but we still came in, even though we didn't enjoy it. But if you dwell on these bad bits, you could forget the good.
The good points of school, you're asking? Yeah!
All the pictures you see now are good points from school. They are all our memories of school, of all the fun we had.
Although for some of us, there are less pictures, as we were having too much fun to bother taking any.
Going on school trips, camping for the first time with your friends,
Planning what to wear to the parties your friends have.
Raising money for comic relief by waxing the male teacher's legs. Always fun, because it meant implementing a little bit of pain on that teacher you weren't so keen on. Teachers in the docks for wet sponges. Again, a huge bonus if they weren't your favourite.
Some of us weren't the brightest.
Or lacked common sense.
But we still worked hard, as these obstacles can be overcome if you attend school every day. For me, it was maths that I found difficult.
And for me, it was English.
And I struggled with the more creative subjects like art, as Miss Carter likes to remind me regularly.
And for me, it was nothing. I was mint.
We'll admit, some days we probably didn't work as hard as we should have. Like in maths, when I decided the maximum number of questions I would attempt at the start of the lesson. Usually no more than 3.
Whereas I was a fan of questions, but it was always me asking them. But that is okay, as it was the only way that I could even begin to understand.
So we had our limitations, but we were there every day learning new things.
And we're not just talking about learning in the lesson, how to do a sum or how to write a persuasive argument.
Or what the symbol is for magnesium in the periodic table.
We learned about ourselves. We learned what our strengths were, what we were good at, what we liked and what we enjoyed.
What direction we wanted our life to go in.
We learned courage.
We learned to have a go, and so what if we get it wrong?
We learned not to take ourselves too seriously.
But most of all, because we attended, we got what we needed to take us to the next steps. Sixth form and college, and then after that, university.
Here we are again, ready to start a different chapter in our lives. Once again, some interesting fashion choices. Again, these were fashionable at the time.
It's now early 2000. Justin Timberlake is the height of the music industry.
Miss Ramsey's future husband, she loves him.
Beyonce had just brought out her solo album.
Miss Curtis and Miss Carter think they are her.
And still do, a little bit.
Okay, a lot.
And as I'm still youthful, unlike some, I was just starting secondary school at this point.
There are vast amounts of university memories that are not for sharing.
But what is for sure is that once again we attended.
And despite some good memories, university is hard at times, but it's just like school. And if you attend and work hard, you get to feel extra proud of yourself when you graduate with all your friends and family around you.
Now we are almost at the end of our tale. You've had a treat of a few interesting photos. The last part is teacher training.
Now, let me tell you, you lot are hard work.
You know what it's like. You push the boundaries with every new teacher, ignore their instructions, and do as little as possible.
Well, some of you.
But you see, because we went to school and attended, we have learned how to cope with you lot. We have learnt about how life can be tough at times, about how people are mean sometimes, but most of all, that it's okay to fail.
So because of school, we could cope with the demands of teacher training, and as a result, are here with you today.
So, here we are, your house champions, ready to be here every day for you, to make school interesting for you, to give you the opportunities we had at school.
To give you the experiences we had at school, to give you the memories to take away with you forever, to share with your friends later in life, to share with your children.
But you will only be able to do that if you're here, every day, taking advantage of those opportunities, every day, learning, every day.
Getting ready to succeed at school, so that you can be the best you can be and get what you want out of life.
So next time you want to come in late, or miss the morning or afternoon, or the full day, think about,
what are you missing?
Sister